Hello.
Oh, hi. Oh my gosh.
How
Wow, it's nice to speak to you in person.
Hi, nice to meet you. What's your
Nice
name?
to meet you. Hillary,
Hillary. And age?
36.
36. Profession?
I'm a mechanical design engineer.
Oh, cool. That's awesome. You have kids? No kids?
Three kids.
Oh, three. Wow, that's awesome. Still married?
No, I've been divorced now for 2.5 years.
Okay. Okay, so what type of mother was your mother and what type of mother are you?
Okay, so going through the different types that you had talked about, um, I would say that she was kind of a blend of a few of them with maybe a different one thrown in because um, early on in my life, my parents divorced when I was 7. So early on in life, she was the traditional
Mm,
wife and mother when she was with my dad. And I think over time, as I was a kid in the 90s and then early 2000s, and it became more of like the about she became like the more it's about me kind of mom.
mm,
um After, like, towards the end of their marriage, it was more about her going to school and learning a profession and more about her career and everything. And then as a single mom, it became about her dating life, work. So I would say she was more of a distracted mom, where she just had uh, so many other things going on, like focusing on my stepdad and that relationship, which is fine. I understand that, like, once you're married, your husband needs to come first and everything. But um, everything kind of regarding her children kind of fell to the wayside. So um, yeah, I would say that that's kind of uh, the type of mother that she was. And then as I got older, you saw more of the competitiveness,
mhm.
where when I graduated high school, she was graduating college, and I saw more of the, oh, when I was this age, I weighed this much, and the comparisons kind of started as I got older. So
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
And
Um,
how did that affect you as a kid?
um, I'm not sure that I ended up, as a teenager when I was 17. I ended up going to live with my dad just because the tension kind of being in the home with her was a lot. And I had always been more of, like, closer to my dad. And when they divorced, actually, if I had been old enough to choose, I would have chosen to go live with my dad because he was a provider. His home was more stable. So I definitely would have gone that route earlier on if I could have. Um, but it definitely, things got tense, and then there was some resentment between she and I of, you're only going to live with your dad because he's stable, or, like, has money. You think he'll just get you whatever you want, this kind of thing. And he was not wealthy at all. He, after the divorce, he lost basically everything. So that was
Mothers hate
difficult.
daughters that do that.
Yeah.
They hate it when the daughter picks the dad.
Yeah, I could, and I guess I could see, like, having gone through that myself, I could see how that would be um, difficult. But I think that she was really blessed to have the the kind of dad that my father was to me. I think she was blessed in that respect to have a partner like him in co-parenting, and she just didn't. She wasn't appreciative of it.
Mm.
So, um,
Did you feel like you became your mother, or do you think you're different than her?
no, I really see, and see, that was kind of where I made my mistake, is that I wanted to be, like, so different from her that um that was what kept me in the relationship that I was in for so long.
Mm.
And I'm not, I know, like, you talk on your show about how women will trash the guy. So I won't go into that. But I I did everything that I could to stay in that, and it was only when things got to the point that it started negatively affecting my children
Mhm.
that I had to get out. And it was um, I don't like to use extreme examples or anything like that, but I will say it got to that point where it was taking a toll on my children, and I just absolutely and
Was it a substance? Like a substance?
it was substance
Yeah, okay.
abuse, and so yeah, substance abuse. There was just some mental issues there that
Mhm,
um, I think I was naive to a lot. I grew up Southern Baptist, so I didn't grow up around, like drug use or
mhm.
drinking or anything like that. So I didn't. I wasn't aware of like the signs to look for, and so it
Did
just
your dad like him when you first met him?
looking back on it, I don't think he did. And I
Mm,
met so my ex husband, the father of my three kids. I met him when I was 17, turning 18. Um, and I think that I don't think my dad liked him. If my dad had come to me and said something, this is where I wish, like I could go say I could say that I wish I had done a lot of things differently, but I wish that he would have felt more confident in speaking up and saying, "I don't think this is the man for you."
mhm,
And I think that um, probably the culture that he grew up in at the time, where it was happy wife, happy life, and my mom was kind of in that same age range as like Princess Diana, where like that was the trendy thing to do is if you're not happy, just leave the marriage. It's
mhm,
like you deserve to be happy and you
mhm,
should do whatever it takes to get to that point. And he grew up kind of in that culture that's ruled by women, and so I don't think he felt like it was his place to speak up. And I really wish he would have.
mhm.
So,
How
but
how old's your youngest?
he's 5.
Okay,
So,
5.
I found out actually the day that he was born, as I was going into surgery. I don't know why it was that day, that time, but that was the time that my ex decided to come clean about the substance use and
Mhm.
everything. The day that I had him. So,
How
and I I take full responsibility. I mean, like I had 3 children with this man,
mhm,
so there's a lot of stuff that I have to take ownership of that's the person that I chose, and that's the decision that I have to live with, and I have to take up to my kids and say I'm sorry, like I failed you because this is the man that I picked that's
how
going to be
how has he
there.
done since? Has he, like, recovered at all, or how's he doing now?
um in some ways when it comes to uh like the anger and the controlling
Mhm,
stuff and the scariness of things,
mhm,
in some ways like that's become a lot better,
mm,
and I deal with him a lot better because I'm not like afraid to deal with him anymore, because the sometimes the scariest part isn't like actually getting out of it. It's like once you're out, like you think that they're going to come in and take revenge somehow.
mhm.
But uh in a lot of ways he's doing well now, like in his career, but he hasn't stabilized really. He's basically um he lived with a girlfriend for a while. Now he's basically homeless, and so it's
He's basically homeless, like, he can't afford his rent and stuff?
no, he could if he
Mhm.
wanted to. He's just not. He's basically like a child living in a 37-year-old's body. And I know I'm gonna get so much hate probably like in the chat for this, for like
Don't
because I'm
worry,
not.
don't worry about the chat, it's
But
fine. They turn on me,
but
so it's alright. They turn on me all the time.
um, but yeah, it's in a lot of ways like I'm like the on the man side of this, where
Mhm,
like in a traditional sense, if I were a man, then I would have to be the one like paying him for things, and
Mhm.
even though like he can't care for the children and things like that.
Mhm.
And um so it's I kind of treat him like I would treat a he's a very feminine man now
Mhm.
to me, and in a lot of sense, like he calls me what is it, a misogynist. And because I have told him, I'm like, you need to help provide for your children.
Mhm.
And like these are you helped create them. And I'm not asking for child support or anything. I've just asked, like, please get yourself into a position where you can, see them,
Mhm.
you can visit them, and it doesn't have to be like coming to pick them up to spend time with them.
Mhm.
So his career is doing a lot better. He's stabilized, and he's actually gotten promotions and everything in his job. So that he's on track with, and I'm trying to help him get to a point where where he's a normal adult, so that
Yeah.
he can be a dad.
So,
So
do you have an engineering job?
mhm, yeah,
So, are you able to then afford, because that I'd just imagine that pays
yeah.
decently well, you can at least afford it?
Yeah, yeah, no, that's one area that I'm very blessed in, and I will say, like, I have to give him credit because during some of the time that we were together, so we were together 15 years and then married for 13.
Mhm.
So like 6 or 7 of those years, he was working a steady job that paid well, and it actually like afforded me the ability to go back to school. And then there was like the last 3 or 4 years of our marriage, he just quit working. That was when he started having some mental issues. And so I had finished my degrees, and he said he stopped working. He just decided to stop working. And so I was like, well, this would be a good time for you to go back to school. And because he only had a GED at the time.
Mhm.
But I said, you could go back to school for whatever you want, and I'll carry the weight of this, and we'll work it out and everything. So he provided well enough that during that time when I was in school, it was going to school full time, working part time, and then taking care of the kids, taking care of the house. And so that was kind of our dynamic for the good years, I'll say. For the, you know, we had probably 7 to 9 years that were fairly quiet. We would have drama and stuff still going on, but fairly tolerable.
Do
So
you think that if he, like, got his act together, there'd be room for, like, reconciliation at some point? 'Cause
no.
it seems like you had a good thing going, at least in the beginning.
Um,
It seems like that could be recreated, or do you think he's too far gone?
I can't. So I don't think that I could ever get to a place where I could ever love him again the way that he deserves to be loved. I
Mhm.
think that if you're gonna forgive someone and stay in that relationship, then you need to be able to kind of go with a clean slate
Mhm.
and have an open heart with them. And I think that the damage that was done is just too much. And I think that he also will fall into these tendencies to go back to how he treated me. I think once you get used to treating someone a certain way,
Mhm.
that doesn't go away easily. And so the boundaries that he's used to me not having and not standing up to him and everything, because his girlfriend, now ex-girlfriend, she had very good boundaries. She had better boundaries than I did.
Mhm.
She stood up to him to a lot of things that I didn't stand up for myself in. So I've kind of seen that, and I just don't think. I think he falls into the pattern of treating me a certain way, and I just can't. I think everybody deserves to be loved to their fullest extent, as cheesy as that probably sounds. But if you can't, like, just with adultery or anything else, if you can't get past it, then you
Mm.
should let that person go so that they can have a chance with someone
Do
else.
you
It's,
do you think, like, would he tell the story the same way?
I think he would tell it in a very similar way. Um, but he would probably leave out the part so I've heard him tell this story, and I've heard from other people, you know, the story that he does tell.
Mhm.
And so the things that he throws in is the things that I did wrong.
Mhm.
And I and uh there was plenty. There
Mhm.
were plenty of things that I did wrong that
Mhm.
I let myself go. It wasn't really that like in an intimate sense there were never any issues with
Mhm.
anything like that. Um, but I mean, I couldn't have given up and not had regrets about this unless I had done everything in my power to try to save it. And he knows that. He
Mhm.
knows how hard I tried to get him to change. And the thing is, like, people won't change unless
Mhm.
they want to.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was in church for a long time. You know, I'm in the South, so that's kind of a given. Um, but I listened to everyone else that said, if you just pray hard enough, if you just believe enough, if you're the wife that you're supposed to be, that will make him become the husband that he's supposed to be.
Mhm.
And it just became a matter of like, I, I can't change a
Mhm.
person. And
So,
so
what kind of mother do you think you are to your kids?
it's impossible to be objective in that question, I
Mhm.
think. And I mean, I'll try. My kids, so like some so my oldest is 15. I have two daughters,
Mhm.
15, 12, and my son is 5. Um, there are plenty of times that they don't like me
Mhm.
for lots of things, for being too strict. Um, but I don't. That's a difficult question, but I try to be
It's okay, I'm not judging you. I'm
fair.
just wondering.
No.
Mm.
It's a good question. I was listening to the descriptions and trying to find one that
You can
maybe I fell into.
you can make one up if you think of one, you know.
I
If
I wouldn't be able to come up with a name, but I guess it would be. I just want everybody in my household to have peace. For
Mm.
so long, we were kind of, I mean, at least myself and my oldest too, we had to walk on eggshells. We couldn't really make jokes or cut up the way that we wanted to in our house. I try for my household to be peaceful most of the time, for them to be comfortable. I do have rules that they have to follow, but and I try to teach them as much of uh, like kind of the red pill things,
Mhm.
of just to make them aware of what they're going to encounter later on. I
Mhm.
don't like to think of myself as raising children. I I feel like my my role is to raise future adults.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to prepare them for things that they're going to need to know. And a lot of times they'll ask me like, how do you just know how to do these things? Like, how do you just know how to go and open a checking account? Or how do you know like what you're supposed to do with your taxes? Or um different, it's kind of different things that they're just amazed by, even when it comes to like chores,
Mhm.
and I'll like my kids were kind of stunned one time when I just put the fitted sheet on. They're like, you got that on the right way, like in the first
Mhm.
try. And it's kids are just funny in some of their observations. But I would say I'm mostly laid back. I'm not. I definitely don't think I'm a helicopter parent, but I like to check in. I want for them to do their best, and I let them know, like, hey, I see where you got a C on this. Do you really think that that was your best?
Mhm.
Or, I'm not going to pressure them to go into a certain role, because I think that um, the way that I went through school was unorthodox, even though I had had a plan set in place when I was in school. But um, the way I've gone about my life is kind of out of order, and it continues to be. Um, and I've made plenty of mistakes, and so I just want them to have the foundation of like, this is what you do to take care of yourself. This is how you're supposed to take care of others.
Mhm.
This is how you respect the things and the people around you. And this is how you have success, and how you allow like others to treat you or not treat you. And this is how to get the best treatment.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they've made, they're in their teenage years. So they make some, what would I call that? Like, they're in that phase of like makeup, and they want to do different things to their hair and all this stuff. And I tell them like, listen,
Are they
you
all
can make that
girls?
choice.
3 girls?
No, the two older ones are
Or girls,
girls.
okay.
So my youngest is 5. He doesn't care
Okay,
like
yeah,
about
yeah, he's
anything right
young,
now.
okay.
So um but I tell them, I'm like, you can do that, but you can dress that way, you can look that way, but you need to understand that the way that you're presenting yourself to the world,
Mhm,
they're going to make assumptions based on what you look like.
mhm,
And that's just how it is. And it doesn't make it right, and it doesn't make it fair, because they're like, well, if somebody's going to think of me like that, then I don't want it. And I'm like, no, no, no. That's not how it works.
mhm,
That your first impression is everything. And even though you may be the the most precious person on the inside, people are going to judge you on what you look like and how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you act.
mhm.
And you know that lesson for them right now is very difficult as teenage girls. And I had to tell them, like, you don't need to, you're not going to go out looking like a hoe. Like, I just
Mhm.
I don't know if you can say that on YouTube,
Yeah,
but
you
like,
can.
you're not like,
Mm.
you need to have everything covered. You need to like treat your own self with respect. And
Do you think they're listening?
because
No.
that's a daily battle.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
I
that
mean,
they're,
that age is hard. That age is hard.
yeah, yeah, it's a daily battle of, they come out of their rooms, uh, I make comments, and then they go right back into their rooms to fix it. Like,
Mhm,
it's like, okay, we're not doing that. You can turn right around and go put more clothes on,
mhm.
or like, you just have to. And it comes off as mean to them, but it's for their best interest.
Yeah. No, it is.
So you have to be protective.
Mhm,
And also with work, my oldest one works, and I've had to tell her, well, you've, like, she's very responsible, and she's a great kid. I'm like, people will judge you based on how you look, and they will treat you a certain way based on how you look. If you want your life to be easy, just tone things down. Don't be as dramatic. Like, we don't always have to make a statement
mhm,
with what we're wearing, or even if that's your fashion and who you are, and all this stuff. Like, there's a time and a place,
mhm.
and so it's a lot of those lessons. But
Well well, thank you for calling into the show.
thank you for speaking. I mean, like, it's just been amazing talking to you. My boyfriend is like the biggest Pearl fan.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
actually like how I started like subscribing to your channel
Mhm.
and everything. And so it's, yeah, I'd say your content's really helped me a lot. And this conversation's been just wonderful speaking
Well,
with you.
yeah, thank you
So
for calling in. Blessing, you're so you, like, cut it. They don't even get to say bye. Sorry.
Uh,
No, I'm not
you
mad. I'm just
turned
like
into another story. We won't finish.
okay, well, hold on 1 second. I just thought I saw something. Can you tell them about our new t-shirts and stuff? Just 1 second. I need 1 second, then we'll take the next one. Put on your
Yeah, guys, we have a new merch coming up that we have on the website. Just gonna put that website up on the screen. So please go and support.
Can you show them? Just show them the website real quick.
Yeah. You guys
Sorry,
can
guys.
go
One
and support this
second.
website or dustymerch.com. She belongs to the streets t-shirt. We got the hoodies. We got the well merch as well. So Dusty Network
Or
merch.
show them our new one. Is it up?
Pearl Daily. I'm not sure if this. No, not yet. But yeah, guys, if you can go to the website and support, that would be
Oh, okay.
greatly appreciated.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I had to check something. I know. I get distracted. Okay, never mind. I thought I saw. I got a notification and I thought it was something completely different. I'll tell you later. Okay. All right. So what kind of? So again, see, look it. I'm so good. I'm so good. This woman. She had the competing mother. So I'm going to go through the archetypes one more time for those who don't remember. By the way, if you have other descriptions, these are just the ones I came through, but I thought of so many more, but I thought I didn't have time. We have the helicopter mom, the best friend mom, the competitive mother, the career mother, the princess treatment housewife, the nagging lazy housewife, the pass on your trauma to your mother, the retirement plan mother, the son husband mother, and the Proverbs 31 mother. Maybe you got lucky. I don't know. You guys tell me. I'm not the end all be all. I don't know everything. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm getting people from the South. I'm getting people from the Netherlands. I'm getting people everywhere. I don't know. Okay, so put the next one. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
All right.
What is your name?
Jan.
Okay, Jan. How old are you?
40.
All right, 40. Do you have kids? Are you married?
Married, 18 years, 4 kids.
4 kids. Okay. And what type of mother? Oh, wait. And where are you?
Northwest.
Northwest. Okay. So what type of mother was your mother?
I'm not exactly sure, but pure feminist.
Okay.
That's all I could actually purely describe. She divorced my father and never saw my father. She told me all the horrific, horrible, abusive he was. And then I think about 4 or 5 years ago, I found out, well, he passed. He died in a different country. I thought this was going to be a Western thing only. No, it's also East as well, Russia, everywhere. It happens everywhere, and it happened past generations too. All this feminism stuff. So I never met him.
Wow,
But my sister.
You never met your father.
Yeah, I never met my father. So they divorced before I was born.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he hit my sister supposedly, and he was this horrific guy. You know, the worst of the worst. He was over 6 feet though too. So. But anyway, come to find out, so he had nothing to do with me, but he would take my sister out for all her birthdays. So if he was so horrific and abusive, and this is what kind of clicked, because I was like, well, he was horrible, man. I don't want anything to do with him. I mean, he never saw me. I never wanted to see him either. But come to find out, when he died, my sister came and told me the truth that, well, she used to take her out on her birthdays every single time. And I'm like, well, if he's so abusive and so horrible, this was before I got red pilled on everything. So I started questioning. I'm like, why would mom allow him to take you out on your birthday, give you gifts, if he was so abusive and so scary? How does that go into things? So my mom, she's still alive, but we don't talk. I'm in the more extreme side of things. So I totally erased her from my life, period. She can't see her grandkids, nothing. Come to find out, basically, it's all been a lie. And I don't know exactly how she kind of broke our relationship. Maybe she said to him she cheated. Maybe she did cheat. I don't know. I do look like him, so I don't know. But basically, my whole entire life, about my father and all the scary stories that she told me about him, that how horrible he was and abusive, it was all a lie. But it's, found out after he died.
Wow. So how old were you when you found out?
35.
Wow. How did that change your worldview? That had to have changed everything.
it started to change a lot of things. That's how I came across of, me and my wife, we had our own little issues and stuff, but I came across of Kevin Samuels, and my wife found you actually.
Hmm.
So, and we've been good. And my mother also tried to destroy my marriage.
They do that. They do that so many
Yeah,
times.
she
Yeah.
tried to say my wife was the worst, horrible thing, and so on and so on. So I'm thinking it was a lot of projection going on.
Yeah.
So to be a healthier marriage, we've never been happier than ever. But the last over 4 years, I literally erased her from my life, like completely. And guess what? My marriage got better. Family's great. Everybody's doing great. So I told her I'm never going to show up to her funeral or anything. I'm done. I'm just, the way she did it to me and my father, I'm just going to do that to her.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and this is like ladies, this is what I'm saying. When you trash your ex, the kids sometimes they figure it out at 12, sometimes they figure it out at 15, sometimes they
30.
figure it out at 35. But people are
Yeah.
not stupid. People talk and they figure it out eventually. And many times the children will cut you off when you figure it out. So tread carefully. I mean,
Exactly.
yeah.
I told her, die alone. That's literally, that's the
Yeah.
words I use. I was like, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
So I don't know what category to put her, but extreme feminist.
Yeah.
Of the alcohol, so
Alcoholic
all men are
too.
bad,
So why?
men are evil.
Oh, so do you know? So did your sister have a good relationship with him until she was older too? Like, did she see him
Yeah.
when she got? Wow. And she never
So
told
they're
you.
literally, no, it was like a secret.
Wow.
It's weird.
Did you ask her why?
Yeah, she's like, well, mom didn't want me to tell you, and I'm like,
No way.
what? Well, that's what it made me wonder, because I have three boys and a girl.
Mm.
And I was wondering, I was talking to my wife, I'm like, what will make a man not to see his son? He'll see his daughter, but he will never see his son. Like, my first son, my first kid was son, the second one too. I mean, to me, it was the greatest thing. It was, oh, I have a son. Wow. You know what I mean? I want to be the father I never had. What would make a man not to see his kids? I mean, actuality, is he really that horrible? So he chooses one, but not the other. So it made me wonder, and I started thinking, and I'm like, did she cheat it? Paternity, that's what we need to do.
Did you ever get it tested to see if you have the same dad?
Well, no, because he was in a different country. We came from the Soviet side.
No, I meant like you and your sister. Like if you did a DNA test, like if you did 23,
No, my sister took my mom's side, so I don't talk to my sister for over 4 years as well.
Oh.
I eliminated both of them.
That's what happens.
I'm vengeful.
When the kid, when whoever in the family figures it out first, the mom will always try to get everyone to like go against him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Well,
and I don't play games.
Yeah. You said you're from the Soviet, or you're Russian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Russia. So.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you very much for calling in.
Sure. Hey, you're doing great work.
Thank you.